Hey guys, this is going to be another episode of Drone Lemonade, and if you watched my previous video on this frame or this model, this is the Furibee GT90. You recall that in that video the camera was very shaky, had a lot of jello because of the way it was mounted, and just basically was a limitation of this frame. It's not really designed for an CCD camera, and no matter how I mounted the camera, I just could not get the vibrations that are the jello out of there. Could be a combination of too much vibration getting into the camera, the way the flight controller stack was mounted, and also the fact that the bottom plate was extremely thin. You can see it bends way too easily. It's only 1 millimeter. So I ended up stripping out everything from this frame, as you can see. It's just a bare frame, and I ended up putting all the parts into this frame here. This is the FlexRC Ascent V2 frame, and I just painted the edges with some Sharpie oil markers, and this is basically all the same parts that were in this frame. I just took them out. I used some different props here. I used the GemFan 2035 props, which are better, and I also swapped out the JST connector for an XT30 connector. But other than that, all of the parts that were in the original frame is now in this frame, and it flies a lot better. The vibrations are gone. I have plenty of camera tilt, as you can see here. This frame allows for a good amount of camera tilt without any props in view, and the camera mounting is very secure. It's because it has a lot more space than this frame. You can see that the design of the frame is pretty critical, and the amount of space you have available to the frame is very critical as well. Of course, the frame itself is more sturdy. It's a 2 millimeter bottom plate. Surprisingly, the frame weighs about the same, I think, or actually weighs a little bit less. The Ascent frame weighs about 10 grams, and then this one weighs about 11 grams, the original. I think that has to do with the aluminum side plates being a lot of weight. So definitely, this might be better for, say, like a lighter setup. So I might rebuild this into something lighter later, perhaps. Keep this frame around. But yeah, for the 1104 motors and this heavier setup, this frame is much better, and you'll see that in the flight demo. And actually, I believe I lost weight, so this went from about 65, 66 grams, and I believe this is around 61 something. Yeah, so yeah, about 61.6 grams. So it's definitely less than before. So go ahead and I'll roll the flight footage for you. I actually flew this with the stock Betaflight tune for 323, so I didn't change any of the PIDs. So the tune isn't perfect, but you'll see that this flies much better than it did in the original review video. So I'll put a card in the corner to the original review video. You guys can check that out and compare that flight footage to this one. It flies much better now.